Hi guys, welcome to episode 40 of the Friendlyjordies podcast. Robbie here, we've got Tom in the studio.
Hey guys, we're finally here, episode 40. Woo!
And also,
Jordan is here as well. And I don't think in any of the episodes it has ever changed. All three of us have always been here. And we will continue to introduce ourselves in that manner.
Big day.
Yeah, jam-packed pod today. We've got a variety of fun and informative segments as per the audience's request. So,
really don't think there was that much of an audience request for many of these segments.
Maybe one.
But, you know.
Maybe. Yeah.
I guess the people have spoken?
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we start with what our usual one we've been doing the last few weeks called Dare We Smile?
Yes.
Is
a people's favourite.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. So
they'd really love if we also shouted out a few of their particular mentions as well. But we're not doing that.
So the way this works is we each pick a song and a famous person that has is that we think will make the other people laugh. They can't be like kind of current songs or current celebrities, and they can't be kind of retro either. They have to kind of be in that middle kind of uncanny valley area of funny. So
probably the same valley as SPC Golden Valley is probably the perfect place.
Yeah.
where the climate was in the 90s, where we weren't facing a climate boil-over catastrophe. We knew it was looming.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey, that peach has a smiling face on it.
Yeah.
I think I've got to give him a high five for the leaves on his head.
Yeah, so it's like that 2008 to 2011 area, I reckon, is the golden zone.
most definitely.
It's a sweet spot.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with my song.
Or we start with songs?
No.
Oh.
Okay, I've made a deliberate point over the past 2 episodes of this to really try and hone this into people's heads.
I honestly
We do not start with me. I know you do. I'm just really confused as to how. We've done this segment for probably 5 bloody episodes now. We haven't got it right once.
Well, to be honest, I'm just very thrown because of what happened just before we started.
Good point. Should we bring it up now?
May as well. Robbie, all right, so beforehand, we give Robbie the songs because Robbie has to put them into the little machine and play them. So Jordan whispered Robbie his song.
Had a winner.
All right, so anyway, Robbie was just freaking out. He's sighing into the mic, just going like... And we're like, what's the matter, Robbie? He's like, I don't know if I should say it. Anyway, turns out we had both thought of the exact same song, and Robbie just told us that, and we were just saying like, why would you do that, Robbie? Like, it would have been perfect. Like, that would have been an awesome realization to have.
In all credit to Robbie, it was a great realization. We all had a quick half-a-second laugh. Died extremely quickly, though, because it would have been much better on air if that happened.
Yeah. So if anyone's wondering, it was Superboy. What's it called?
Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy talent.
Superman that hoe.
That was your song.
Yeah.
Is that what you said to him, Superboy?
No, I was like Soldier Boy. I'm pretty sure. I just forgot that second.
Okay, all right, good. As long as you know that, because that song is, I think we can all safely say, not a classic, but still has exactly the same residue in your mind as, say, Beethoven's Ninth. If you said that to anybody born post 1988, I bet if you said Soldier Boy, they'd be like, oh, yeah, like saying part of their brain is Beethoven's Ninth would suit up going, no, it's in the hall of greatest hits in my mind. Yeah.
All right, so I'll do my person first, and that whole spiel was really just like lag time so I could try and work out a person because I hadn't actually thought of one, but I think I've got a good one here, guys. How about this?
Always played 2 games at once. That's why he is the chief mover in Tyrannosaurus chess coming up later, i.e. by chief we mean Robbie and I have not made a single contribution, nor will we.
Yeah, you wait, guys.
You're versing just Tom. It's the world versus one man. Could this struggle be any more epic?
Yeah, impressive move last week, by the way. Anyway, all right, my person this week is Jackie Chan.
As usual, hated.
Damn it, nothing.
Absolutely.
Nothing.
despise that
Look,
choice.
I'm not upset. I thought of it 30 seconds ago. All right, Robbie.
But you did. No. At this point, it's water off a duck's back. You're so used to the response of blank faces.
Yeah,
in fact, you get a sick pleasure out of losing this game, don't you, Tom?
It's actually really like kind of like a nice thing to get used to. Just like constant derision from you two. So I'm fine
It's
with it
got
now.
that classic salesman technique of buzz off. Okay, ma'am, you have a nice day.
Yeah, really comfortable with defeat. All right, next one.
Jordan.
What's yours, Geordie?
Oh, it's mine, is it?
Yeah.
All right. You ready for this? Spy Kids 3D.
Once again, you need to do a person. You don't. How can you get mad? How can you get mad about the rules of this game? About if it's a song? Or you did the Olympics last week. We've made it really clear. Like. No time.
Are you
for that.
guys?
Look,
I got you laughing.
It's better than Jackie
20,000, right?
It followed the rules. I followed the rules. I could just say a movie. What do you want to just say? What?
I said a movie the first time we played this game. I thought that was the stipulation.
What was the movie? You said?
The second round is just music. The first round is whatever you like. That's why I was utterly confused. And listening back to the podcast, something you never do, Tom.
So much tension in this room.
It really brings out the worst in us.
Well, yeah, every time I've introduced it, I've always said celebrity. I've never said anything else. Like, so we've got a
I
song
thought that
or
was
anything.
a shortcut.
So I could just say, a microphone. And you could just be like, oh, yeah, nice, man.
Yeah, I really thought that was the rules.
Really?
You guys have changed.
Did you
I
think that?
invented this game, and now you're telling me what it is?
Robbie, what do you
No.
I think that one's more acceptable than the Beijing Olympics.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, man.
I mean, Spy Kids are characters as well, right?
You said 3.
D.
Yeah, you said a title.
All right, let's grant him 2 points.
That's really fair,
Sure.
seeing as both of you lost it
You
at
know what?
Spy Kids 3D.
Whatever, take it. 2 points.
Take it,
Robbie,
2 points.
you'll go.
My one.
Whatever, take it, 2 points. You demoted me.
Yeah.
19,998 points, and you have the hive to tell me just take it.
Yeah, that's how you really win the game, is by not caring about it. It's like whenever we play Risk or whatever. Just, yeah, sure, man, you win. Whatever. All right, Robbie, what's yours?
Okay. Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, like, I reckon that is, it's a correct one to say.
Is
Robbie
it?
has been
Okay.
getting a lot of smirks these past few weeks. Not many
Smirks.
smiles.
No, yeah.
Plenty of smirks.
You're
So
very
half a
close
point
one.
from each year.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, one whole point. So, good.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Two halves of a cookie make a whole cookie.
Yeah, so
As
you're
the
on
Cookie Monster might say. Haven't watched it in years. It's been on air a lot of... He's had to talk about cookies for 20 years straight. I'm sure he said that at one point.
Do you reckon he's got his, like, deep as decimals, like half numbers? Or do you- like half cookies?
Yeah, but I think he probably outsources it to the count.
Yeah, oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Does the Cookie Monster do anything educational? Or does he count cookies?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure... Yes, he does. He does just count cookies. However, that is the count's job. And no, the Republicans are right. Really cut back on PBS's budget. They can afford it. If they've got a
They don't
guy
need
that
two
just sits
counters.
there counting cookies, that's his job. Fire him.
Yeah. There's such a... What a weird bunch of Muppets. All right, yeah, anyway.
Okay, yeah,
So
so-
this is my second choice, so admittedly could not be as good because Soulja Boy was my first, but let's put this one on. Yeah. All right.
Tom's back in business.
Yeah, I'm back, baby.
Everyone was questioning, why, Tom? Why are you still playing this game?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
clearly not in peak form.
Yeah.
Well, we have a classic Rocky IV scenario, I believe,
Yeah.
where he comes out of the ashes and rises as the phoenix that he is.
Yeah, 4 long weeks later. Yeah.
To get 2 points.
All right, 2 smiles.
Nice.
I used to love that song. I loved it.
Did you? Oh, okay. Yeah, it was,
The
it was a
Timberland
big
version.
hit. Yeah. And this is Jordan's second choice. Again, I just wanted to film myself for a second. I wasn't. I'm sorry that I said that earlier prior to on air.
Oh, good, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
We've said all good a lot, but you can tell there is a lot of hostility in the room about that.
Yeah, well, it was
We're
pretty
secretly
disappointing,
extremely angry.
yeah. Well, it could have been awful, so I had to sort of just get the okay on that, Anyway, this is Jordan's second pick. Not as good, but
well, you can't. Thanks for framing it like that. Just play the damn song.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I got to laugh.
Yeah, sure, man.
All right.
Yeah, all right. I'll smile.
Don't even have I don't have the killer instinct to take that at 10,000 points. I'm going to have to demote it down to 5,000, but that's still huge lead.
Yeah.
Massive lead.
What was that kind of laugh, do you think? It wasn't really a laugh. It was like a half laugh, like a, yeah.
Yeah, it was a classic you sort of laugh. Somebody of your character, much more fitting to a 60-year-old, though, of, his wife divorced him. He's got a second wife, doesn't love that one as much anymore, and now he just sees the world for what it is. One big fucking joke.
And this is my pick.
Yeah, nice one. There you go. Yeah,
I think we have a champion.
I think Robbie got it.
Congratulations. This is the first time you've ever won Dare We Smile.
I think so, yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels pretty good.
I imagine it'd feel like the song you were just playing. Can we hear that part of the chorus that is the theme line?
Go. Just hit it.
Does it feel...
It's a long time.
Wait a sec. Stay with us. There it is. Thank you so much for listening to a redundant amount of that song that had no relevance to the podcast whatsoever. We're back in action, back on point.
All right, Tyrannosaurus chess.
Yes.
So, great move last week, guys. I see you're all really getting together there, and it's very impressive, and I really think you should have kept going, getting offensive there. What do you guys think of the move they took?
Exactly what you thought, Tom, because when you brought it up with me and you were clearly vexed, much like a leader of a Saudi Arabian-esque country in the Middle Ages, walking around with your chief advisor in the desert, and the advisor doesn't know anything. Just the only guy that's able to smile every time you smile so you don't behead me.
Yeah.
You just sitting there going, like, I just don't understand, like, we're in a bad position, and me being like, it's awful, Milord, it's awful.
Yeah, well, all right, here's our move. We're going to be fianchettoing our bishop, which means we're moving our left bishop from C1 to B2.
Oh, of course, yes. Yes, fianchettoing.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it actually... I've just heard that term used for that kind of move. But anyway, yeah, I reckon it's a... You guys are in a bit of trouble. I think you developed your castle too early. Anyway, this segment, by the way, we play a game of chess with the audience. So if you want to get involved, get on Facebook. It'll be in the comment section on this post this Sunday. So every Sunday, and you guys need to make your move by Monday night. So get on it.
Thanks, Samuel Choi, for organising the move.
God, anybody who listens to this podcast and this is the first time they've tuned in would be thinking, God, is this all they do? They just chat? Yeah.
They just play chess with...
That was extremely lazy. In the last... We were just about to move on to another segment. Oh, yeah, like for any new listeners, we play chess with the audience.
Oh, dear. So, anyway.
So we moved it. We fianchettoed our bishop, I believe.
Yeah, so you'll know what I'm saying. For those who are involved. Nice. Tyrannosaurus.
That's why they call it Tyrannosaurus chess, because we have specifically cloned a dinosaur. You would think that we just got that off YouTube. No. We went through all this scientific frou-frou of doing that, chaining him up in the studio. He does that one thing, then we throw him a goat.
Yeah, you would be sorely mistaken. All right, now we're moving on to Tour de Force Tightrope. So, we usually do Taboo Tightrope, where we discuss really controversial ideas like... I don't know, race issues or, things that are controversial.
Gender issues.
Gun laws.
Anything that we know will annoy our left-wing audience. Just this really is the stick of segments, and our audience is the beehive.
Yeah.
And we are a 10-year-old that doesn't know that bees sting.
So now we're broadening that out to not just be like a left-wing audience, but just be society as a whole. So just things that everyone loves, and things that So
it's pretty much a verbal Tyrannosaurus chess without any chess pieces at all. It's the pod versus the people.
Yeah,
but it's not like Shakespeare, for instance, which is one that a lot of people would probably also dislike. It's thing. What's a good example of something that's quite well
I don't
loved?
know about that, Robbie.
Well, that's one we were
really?
discussing before.
Oh, okay.
But I guess like in high school, if you were to say like, "Don't you reckon Shakespeare sucks?" Everyone would just be like, "Yeah, we all think that."
Yeah.
But nowadays, if you were to be like, "Don't you reckon Shakespeare sucks?" People would be like, "Yeah, sure, mate. Like, you don't know much, do you?" Like, it'd be that kind of.
I mean, a lot of scratching of plates at a dinner party. If you brought that up as a conversational topic,
sure.
Yeah.
If you said that, say, Big Brother sucks, everyone would be in on that with giggles. Saying Shakespeare sucks, king, 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 king.
Yeah. Well, that was like the thing me and Jordan discussed like a couple of years ago was we were like talking about doing a video where it was like The Simpsons is better than Shakespeare, and it was just kind of I don't think we can do it, man. Like, it's just, I know you really believe this, but it's just too dumb. We can't do it.
Which is why, like everything else in this podcast, anything that doesn't make it to the YouTube channel, we just chuck in here
the
lack of material. You are listening to a 3-day-old casserole.
What a leftover kind of sound effect as well. That
leftover from a period of radio far gone. It's not the golden era of radio, it's that silver era where they're going, no, we can make a comeback. I think television is temporary. Look, we just have to freshen it up a bit.
That'll get the people going. So what's an example, Robbie? What's your one?
You're my one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your kind of taboo? What's something that everyone loves but you don't?
Okay. I reckon that Dune was a bit boring.
Jeez.
Ooh, that is... Wow.
So Dune's
He didn't want to tell us this in the car either because we knew... Like, we would rip him to shreds if there weren't a lot of witnesses listening to this right now.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
A little bit boring. Tom finished it recently.
Loved it.
Yeah. So, and I heard it in the car on the way to Uluru and back, and...
No, you didn't. You very passively aggressively put headphones in and cranked them so loud that we had to listen to your music through headphones, which is the most annoying scratch sound.
Especially when you're listening to the beautiful writing that is Dune. It's just...
It's quite good. It's a gracious prose, but it's a little bit just a little bit boring.
So if people who haven't heard of this, it's regarded as the greatest science fiction novel ever written.
I prefer Star Wars.
It's not a novel.
Okay, well, you're talking about the books. You prefer Star Wars the book.
The movies.
Okay. Well, then we're just going to have to go with Tobbs then. That's not a book.
Yeah, there you go.
By definition.
I don't like Star Wars. That's mine.
Oh, a little bit of back and forth now.
How could you like Star Wars but hate Dune?
I don't
Star
hate
Wars is
Dune.
a rip-off of Dune.
I don't hate Dune. I just thought it was a little bit boring.
That is really grotesque that somebody who just described Star Wars the other day as the McDonald's of science fiction.
Yeah.
So you're saying that that's your diet in life is McDonald's. You think McDonald's is a good thing?
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun, right? It's fun food, fun movie.
Well, my problem.
What food would you describe Dune as then? French.
Like a roast, a lamb roast that's like been cooked a little bit too long.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, he makes a persuasive point.
I guess maybe, but
Frank Herbert, I'm sorry. He used to be my favourite author, but now I hate lamb.
Well, the reason I hate Star Wars is because don't you think everyone is always raving at Star Wars, just being like, oh my God, like there's big fans of Star Wars. But if you went to a fan and you were like, all right, there's 6 films, like let's not count the animations and like the Disney ones, but like there's 6 films.
Why not?
All the fans, well, even if you did, all Star Wars fans would agree that the later 3, they hate them, right? they all hate them. So you've got a franchise.
But they would give the proviso that, well, the third one was nowhere near as bad as the second two. Yeah, but you hate it, right? Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah. So, and then if you ask, so like, for instance, Matt, our editor, he's like, you know, like, I think he considers himself a fan of Star Wars, but he says, all right, the later three, so episodes 1, 2, and 3, all terrible. And he goes, and also, it's pretty well argued that 5 and 6 are pretty bad as well. Oh, no, sorry. 4 and 6 are not that great either, but 5's the good one. So
he likes The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and maybe the 6th. But then if you've got a franchise where you've got 6 films, more basically, but essentially 6, and only 2 of 6 are good, 1 out of 3, it's like, that's a bad franchise. You can't say, like, Star Wars is awesome, but I hate every movie but 2. Like,
very good point. Especially when we were discussing this the other day, George Lucas probably doesn't even like Star Wars that much. True. It just seems like he's way more into Indiana Jones.
Yeah. You can definitely tell, like Peter Jackson is, like, a massive fan of The Lord of the Rings. In fact, like, George Lucas created it, and, like, you can just tell he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he just sells it all out. Like, he's such a,
Would you rather George Lucas or Peter Jackson be your dad?
George. I would much rather George.
Why?
Why would you like Peter Jackson as your dad?
Just prefer Lord of the Rings.
If he was, it's that easy. Why is that?
That was a cool movie.
Yeah. You can imagine Peter Jackson doesn't take care of his kids for some reason.
Exactly. I would imagine that if you...
Is that
if you were his kid,
defaming him?
No, because we're supposing, right?
I'm just saying that
hypothesizing. Yeah. We don't know.
It's purely because he's a bit overweight, so it makes me think he doesn't care much about diet, which makes me think if he had kids, he'd definitely just like let them eat tons of ice cream. That's like my only reason I think that.
I would definitely imagine there would be a picture of you if you were his kid, overweight, in a dress, not because he's abusive, but because he's negligent. There's just nothing else to wear in the house.
Yeah. There's nothing else to wear but like props from The Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so you'd rather... so you'd have Peter Jackson.
The kids... The teachers said, if you come again in an elf suit, you're not coming to... Don't bother coming to school, so you came in a dress.
Who would you rather have, Robbie?
I'd rather have Peter Jackson probably because
what New Zealand?
He loves New Zealand, and
you're more closely.
We could go there. I'd like to travel around with him. I think.
Yeah.
Why is everyone against George Lucas then?
No, I think he's quite a chill guy. I don't actually dislike him at all.
South Park has kind of turned me against him a bit just because
true.
He's framed as kind of a bad dude. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure they're both excellent parents, if they are parents.
I think they both are.
All right. Well, let's
best of luck to both of them.
Yeah,
but no, Jordan, what's your tour de force tightrope? What's something that
I was about to buzz this out, but you used it as the example of. So this is clearly not a tour de force, right?
Oh no,
Shakespeare is so passe to hate.
I'm so sorry.
I thought it was extremely avant-garde to say your time is done. The Simpsons is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's a bad example? It'd be Shakespeare. What's yours, Sean? Robbie's on a roll today.
All right, so next segment. What is it, guys?
We've got Tom's Science Legacy. Now, this is where he will tell us some heady science chat that gets us going and, gets us interested in the world and the universe and the possibilities of the mind.
Yeah, sure. All right, well, do you want to hit the music?
I was going to do that when you said your extremely evocative point.
Oh, okay. All right, well.
Isn't that what we were doing?
Yep, that's 2 to Robbie, 1 to Tom. Right. Let's see what the score is at the end of this podcast. Whoever... We didn't have a finish for the champagne showers music, but I think that now we do.
What?
Whoever has the highest score of ways that they blundered in this pod at the end...
All right, wait.
Gets a bum spank.
To defend myself, I thought we were playing the instrumental, and then you're going to hit that other thing when I said something more, like, interesting.
Good point. Robbie, you're on 3.
No.
Tom is on 0.
Yeah. No way.
Thank you.
Yep.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
What was the other music?
It was to play the instrumental of the... really, we cannot talk about this.
Off air, okay?
I want full transparency.
I will not stop. Yeah, no, let me just talk about science. All right. Okay, so...
I don't agree with that 3.
Guys, can we just concentrate,
That's
please?
fine.
All right, so last week we talked about the 10 dimensions of space and time, right? So we've got like physical dimensions, which is, like what we live in, and then also like temporal dimensions of like time. So like
which freaked out one of our listeners, can't remember, but he's got a picture of some meme guy with meme sunglasses on and a massive doob coming out as his display picture, saying that the 10 dimensions freaked him out because it made him realise how small he is.
He had to turn
it off. However, he also gave it a 10 out of 10, the podcast, and said that he'd listen to it again.
Yeah, so let's see if we can do it again. I think this one's it's not at all like a daunting idea. It is a little daunting, but I think it's just a really cool idea, which you kind of already know it, but I don't think you've like fully appreciated how cool it is. Okay, so I'm really into this dude called Richard Feynman at the moment, who's like he's a Nobel Prize winning scientist, great all-round guy. It's his idea, so I'm just going to basically try and regurgitate it. But what it is there's a thing in physics, it's just like fields. So like the electromagnetic field, which if you're like in year 8 or year 9, you're probably learning about it in physics and you just find it like really boring. But I reckon it's like actually really cool because...
Okay. I really hope that you're a lot better than those textbooks we got that weren't even in colour.
Yeah.
And they thought that putting in a picture of it would make it more exciting in your mind. Yeah. I'm going to say that even the text was more exciting than those pictures. Those pictures suck.
Well, all right. Imagine this, right? This is the analogy of... This is literally how the universe is. So this is really happening. Is that... Imagine you're a little insect and you're in a swimming pool, right? And you're just like in the corner of a swimming pool, just like hovering on the surface. And there's...
Peaceful.
Yeah, and there's all these kind of like... There's ripples of waves. And think how like chaotic the surface of like a public swimming pool is if there's like dozens of people in the swimming pool. It's like a choppy sea kind of a surface.
I don't want to be that bug anymore.
Yeah. So imagine if you're that bug and you're able to detect... like how things are, like what's happening in the pool. Like you're a tiny insect, so you can't see far enough, but like just from the way the waves are rippling towards you, you're able to determine everything. Like, so you're able to determine all the different elements of the pool. But like so this is the same way like light works, right? Where it feels like the other week we were talking about like nothingness, and this is why it's so cool, because there's literally nothing. There's no such thing as nothing anywhere. Like there's just these fields of like wavelengths that determine everything. So there's like cosmic waves, X-ray waves, light waves, radio waves, and they're all on the same field of a spectrum that's not only like two-dimensional, but it's actually like... But it's like three-dimensional, like this three-dimensional liquid of just like vibrating waves. So like a cool example is, say we were recording this live and it was going out to you, like whoever's listening, like if they're like driving their car, like the common idea would be that their radio waves have left like wherever we're recording this from and they're arriving in your car. But in reality, they've been there the whole time. It's just the different way that this field has just started vibrating in a different way. So it's like we're constantly just like wrapped in this kind of like three-dimensional just like grid of just like waves, and they're all crossing across each other. So it's like so complex. So think like right now, if you're looking at Robbie and I'm looking at Robbie, there's light waves that are bouncing like all around everywhere, but somehow I'm able to determine what Robbie looks like, even though there's other light that's like crossing your path, right? So there's like, it's just so complicated and there's just so much stuff going on, but to us it's just invisible. And the cool part is that it's all really there. So it's like we see things on like, it's like the human eye can only see on this like really tiny spectrum of light. So it's like ultraviolet and like infrared light. So imagine you're that little insect, like, and you can only determine like the wavelengths of frequency. Like, so you know how it's like a big ripple of a wave. If the wave's too big, the insect won't even realize it's happening. So like it's just a cool idea that we can only like work out a tiny fraction of what's really going on because we can only see a tiny spectrum of light. Like we can't see X-rays. Like there's a snake that can see its prey of like mice under like the desert floor because it can see in heat. So it sees like in thermal vision. So we'll see like
predator.
Yeah, it's a desert viper. It can see through the body heat, and that's how it sees, because it can pick up like really high infrared wavelengths of light.
So it hunts things that are hot.
Yeah.
So if you put it in front of a heater, it'd go Whoa!
Yeah, probably. Or like it would know if it was scampering around or whatever. But it would, if you put the mouse behind the heater, it wouldn't see it. It would be invisible to it. It's like
Wow.
It's just like how we can only perceive things just through like a really small spectrum of light. But then there's like so much other stuff going on, and it's all on the same wavelength. It's all just through waves, which is really cool because that's just within our like 3-dimensional existence. So then it even goes like more complicated. But yeah, that's the idea.
No.
You actually missed it, but yeah, that was. Anyway.
Say it again. Say the bit that was.
It's all really here.
Oh Jesus!
Wow,
That is mind-blowing. Mostly because of how operatic this music is, I suppose.
yeah.
And also because of your point.
It's all invisible, right? But it's all there. It's cool.
So we're all swimming in a 3D pool of waves.
Basically, yeah. I reckon it's really good.
Amazing.
And
the
magnets and
surfers were right. They know the meaning to life.
Well, we know it's there as well because of like electricity. Like it's so like, yeah. Anyway, mind blowing to me.
Yeah, no, that is actually quite mind-blowing. The problem is with this segment, though, Tom, is this is supposed to be an audio medium. As soon as you start talking about it, it actually does blow your mind, doesn't it, Robbie? And you go short circuit, and then you go, wow. Oh, shit, we're on air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure if you visualized it, it'd be way more effective. Same with the 10 dimensions thing.
No, that's what I'm saying, is your brain is completely ensconced in it. So you're thinking about what you're saying and transmuting it, and then there's the moment where the operatic music comes in, then your mind is completely blank for a few seconds, and you realise it's dead air, it's really unprofessional. Why are people listening to that?
Alright, well, I'll try and come up with a funner one next week.
No, keep blowing our minds. I'm just telling everybody out there, if you hear silence, that's a good thing.
It's part of it.
And also, I'm just a layman here, guys. So, if you think you've got, anything to add to this, like, let me know.
Yeah, can you top that?
Yeah,
can you top that very quick while you're in the studio and you can see Robbie's hands making that circular motion, being like, okay, hurry up, we're doing this for 2 minutes now. Can you beat it?
All right, now we're going to go on to True Dares Wins.
And now Robbie has his hand raised. He's really good at
Robbie.
the hand gestures ever since we went live on air at FBI. He's become our close... He is now our commando in the Vietnam Army.
Yeah, doing the follow me, putting a fist on his
And we're
head.
just 2 new recruits going, what? Go and attack. No, you fool, stay down.
Yeah. Because he puts his hand up as though he's like wants to talk, but it looks as though he's pointing outside the studio. So we're like turning around going, what is it, Robbie? But
yeah, we can't tell if he has a point or he can see dead people.
he's pointing at someone standing behind us. What do you want, Robbie?
I'm just really excited for this segment. So this is called True Dares Wins.
All right. Animorphs.
No, is it? Who Dares Wins?
What is
with
this?
Mike Whitney?
Oh, Who Dares Wins?
Would you eat snake meat? How much would you? Guess how much you win if you eat snake meat?
How much? $1,000.
50.
Is that bad? Do people not? They must not eat snake. Yeah. That doesn't sound that bad to me.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. But I suppose that was why it had such a low point, because there was only one woman in a western suburbs mall going, what? No, I'm not eating that. Everyone else gave it a go. It actually sounds quite delicious to me. Huh?
It was cooked and everything, right?
Yeah.
What the hell? Why would you
Prepared by one of those butchers with a really massive face that's all podged in because of all the fat around it, and tiny glasses, and the fat on his eyebrows kind of smushing over half of it, so you couldn't tell if it was half moon sunglasses or full moon sunglasses.
Well, yeah, it was a bit like in Uluru, just having crocodile or emu, and it just seemed like we're paying heaps of money there for really weird stuff like that.
Yes, and also, speaking of snakes, sorry, well, this is my girlfriend, came up with a point about snake phobia that made me feel that same squidginess that they have in their stomachs. All right, picture this. Because I was saying, look, they're not slimy. They actually feel really nice, and they're quite a pretty looking animal, really, a snake. And she was saying, yeah, what the gross thing about them is, they're just one giant long muscle.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's pretty disgusting. Really?
Yeah, that is quite disgusting, isn't it?
It's such a strange... You know why? Because it instantly registers as a penis with a brain slithering along, being like, where's the pussy?
Oh dear, that's not what I thought.
Okay.
You're going to have to beep that.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Have you guys
We're
ever
all
had
adults.
them around your neck? Have you?
A snake?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The zoo and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
When you were like 10.
Yeah. What do you think about zoos?
I reckon they're pretty fun.
Yeah, I hate them. I think they're bad.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why don't we save that for your next week's?
Yeah. So hold on to that, Tom.
Because we're going to get into True Dares wins.
All right. So Robbie tells us...
So this is basically, I've got 3 stories, okay? 2 of them are going to be true. 1 of them, it's false. So,
Story 1.
Story 1. I witnessed a brawl last night.
Maybe.
I know that...
Yeah, probably.
I actually know that to be true because you've already told me that story.
Well, you don't have to tell Jordan.
Wait, is 1 true? 2 true, 1 false.
2 true, 1 false.
All right.
I've served Dicko at Hoyt's when I worked at Hoyt's.
Possibly. See, the flaw with this story is that you and Tom have been lifelong friends. He knows your whole life. He probably remembers things about you that you don't. You know that I got a burn on my testicle once and I had to get it removed, and then you look down and you go, no, there is only 1 testicle. Yeah.
Well, that's actually a good segue to the 3rd one. I've bruised my testicle on a tree root.
Okay. Here's my problem. Is all 3 of those I know to be true.
So you
have misunderstood this again.
No.
This is your segment. How do you screw this up?
I haven't screwed it up.
They're all true. I know they're all true.
Unless you've lied to Tom.
He's shaking.
But they're all...
God, he is like that first-hand captain. You know when there's like a bad pirate captain and then there's like a first mate that's always shivering, but he's like, I'll get the cannons right away, sir.
You've told me all. I know these stories really well. Anyway.
I'm not lying.
All right, Robbie.
One of them's not true.
All right, tell us. Which one's not true?
Which one? Out with it, weakling.
You have to guess.
All right, I guess the testicle one. It's stupid. I know they're true. All right. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, no, I refuse to be a part of this. I'm sitting out.
No, but that's not how it works.
What's the answer?
All right, I'm going with the testicle one, but under protest. Just because of the respect I have for this man next to me. I'm doing this.
All right. Well, guys, I'm sorry to say, you guys got it wrong. I have actually bruised my testicle at tree root. The fake one is, I didn't serve Dicko at Hoyt's. I actually served Ziz.
You served Dicko, didn't you?
No, I saw him.
I know you served Ziz.
Right, okay. So you
saw him. Oh, no, so you saw him at Hoyt's, but you didn't serve him.
I didn't serve him.
Oh, bullshit, mate. That's such crap.
No.
I said this last week as well. That you're going to do it where it's going to be half true and a little tidbit of it isn't true. And you did it.
I don't know what to tell you. You're wrong.
Oh, the contrast in the rooms from Studio A and Studio B.
There's a girl dancing in the other studio to some hipster beat.
Well, we have this nervous wreck of a Yeti shaking there going, no, it's all true. Or somebody's yelling at him angrily.
Pointing and yelling. All right.
No, all right. So, yeah, I haven't served Dicko at Hoyt, so that... You guys got it wrong.
It's too infuriating. We have to move on. All right.
Those True Dares win. Guys, if you like that, let me know.
And if you didn't, let us know as well.
No, don't.
Okay.
Regardless, Robbie's going to have his way anyway. I'm pretty sure that's a permanent fixture. Get used to it.
Now, guys, we're going to titillate your minds with a little bit of Keating chat from your boy, Jordan. I don't really know much about him, but Jordan really likes him, and he's going to educate me and everyone out there as to why he's fantastic, and in relation to Malcolm Turnbull, who's a layered hack, would you say?
A layered hack?
Well, as opposed to like Abbott, who is one-dimensional.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Which actually raises the point. everybody keeps saying that Malcolm Turnbull is the new Keating in terms of an inspirational leader. Could not be further from the truth. This man, and what proves it perfectly is my girlfriend's friend is now a full-time correspondent in Canberra, knows all the inside gossip about the politicians. She was saying that as soon as he got prime ministership, his wife Lucy was going, Malcolm, I don't understand why you want to be prime minister. Can't we just retire to our fabulous mansion and sit around? You know, you always said that you were going to train some chimpanzees to be butlers. Where are they? None of that happened. Now he's prime minister. And his response was, now Lucy, you know I've always wanted to be prime minister ever since high school. How is that a good enough reason to become the prime minister of a country just because you wanted it?
Yeah.
He has no regard for what happens to this country outside his own personal ambition. That's proof, and the coward media won't expose it.
Coward media.
We're doing it now. Even with a proven coward in the studio, Robbie, we're still saying it. Malcolm Turnbull doesn't care about this country.
Yeah. Well, it's like Keating's the polar opposite, isn't he? Because he grew up in the tough, Bankstown, and was the member for Blaxland. And he left school at 15, and he was such an underdog compared.
And he everything of his public career is, I don't care if you think this is good. It is good. We're doing it.
Yeah, it's so much more boss.
It's so much more boss. Instead of Malcolm Turnbull saying that, no, penalty rates is getting rid of penalty rates is a good thing. Don't you see? Trying to coerce and persuade the public into doing things against their interest. If Keating ever did something against the public's interest, which I don't think he did, at least he did it with style.
Yeah. Well, not against their interest, but against their will, I guess.
Definitely against their will. He was rarely ever popular, which is why I don't know if you guys have seen it recently, but he was talking to Kerry O'Brien about this book that's coming out. This is possibly the most boss story I've ever heard in an Australian democratic system. Paul Keating, when he took over from Bob Hawke, was an incredibly popular prime minister, but it says it all when Gough Whitlam died and all the former prime ministers started walking into a Labor-heavy audience, and when Bob Hawke walks in, he gets a respectful clap of... And then as soon as Keating walks in, everybody loves him. Because he obviously was the brains behind the whole operation of the 80s and early 90s Labor Party. True talent. When he took over from Bob Hawke, who was incredibly popular, Keating was not, because he's, a very snide, condescending man with an impeccable wit. He was completely trailing the whole time that he was there in the polls. I think there were 35% approval rating or something. Not as bad as Bill Shorten's, still extremely bad. Not in an election-winning position by a mile. So then
Hewson was the...
Yep. Dr. John Hewson with his famous Fight Back program, which ever since then the Liberal Party has never done it, but they've got the exact same program of Fight Back, which is just the classic neoliberal thing of shrink the public sector, give billionaires heaps of money, and then you'll have that trickle down theory, all that Reaganomics bullshit that Keating was fighting against, right? So anyway, he's in Parliament. He starts catching wind that John Hewson wants to introduce the GST. And so Keating gets up, doesn't tell anybody in the Labor Party, no one. He's just thinking off the top of his head. He's freestyling policy, which is boss enough in itself. No advisors, straight off the top of his dome, gets up, has this gut feeling that everybody in the electorate is thinking that they can get rid of me because they hate me, and get John Hewson in, but Labor will still be in the Senate because they have such a majority there that they'll be able to vote down the GST. So we'll just vote for Hewson, and we won't get a GST because it'll just be voted down. That'll be fine. So that's Keating's feeling. He gets up, says, if Labor loses the next election, Labor will support the GST.
He puts them on the back foot, levers them hard.
So Labor, everybody at Labor apparently has just rolled their eyes like, what the hell? You just lost the election, you idiot.
Yeah.
And everybody in the Liberal Party is just, rearing with their rat-like joy, going, yes, the GST's coming in, excellent, we can't lose.
Yeah, right.
It's known as one of the only moments in his entire public service career that he momentarily doubted himself, just because as soon as he walked into his cabinet meeting, everybody files in going, you've lost it. In 3 sentences, you've completely lost the election. And he's going, no, it's fine, don't worry about this. So he goes, gets acupuncture. Apparently he was a huge fan of acupuncture and says that, how you have a Valium and you get relaxed but you're also drowsy? Acupuncture, you get relaxed but you also feel, like it's Monday morning, you're just ready to fight. So I'm going to have a 7:30 report interview about what I just said. And it wasn't even Kerry O'Brien. So Kerry O'Brien was the Lee Sales of the day for New Zealand expatriates that don't know that, which is pretty much just Robbie. Right. Everybody else in the audience would know who Kerry O'Brien is. It wasn't him, it was a replacement that he had, and you always get, for one of those jobs, somebody who's competent at the job, but not particularly good. You don't want them to outshine you, so you're always ringing up going, hey Peter, would you like to fill in for 7:30? And then some hack going like, would I? And apparently he had a nervous twitch as well. And so every time Keating was versing him, because Keating is known as the greatest wit in Australian political history, by a mile. So it's him versus a not very competent 7:30 reporter. Those are the 7:30 reporters, the one that you go to where you ask the really hard questions to politicians. So he's on there. He's just had acupuncture and he says, I felt like Zeus ready to throw down the thunderbolts. I was just feeling $1 million walking in there. Then he comes out with all of his king hits thinking he's got me, and I'm just batting them away with it was like playing a game of badminton, just such easy bats. And at the end, that nervous twitch guy was just like, oh my God, this is a genius masterstroke. He has won the election. Paul Keating actually wound up winning the 1993 election as a result of blackmailing the Australian electorate into voting for him, saying that if I am kicked out, you guys get the GST. That's my party gift to you guys.
That's awesome. Wow. Do you want to hear that clip as well of the...
Okay, if you still have any doubts that Paul Keating isn't a total boss, in tribute, we've obviously got to play his most famous quote. For anybody who's not introduced to him yet, after this, you will be YouTubing him like mad, because this isn't even his best call. Even in all of his parliamentary speeches, he has so many jabs. Incredible, perfectly timed whips.
Such a good YouTube hole to fall down.
As he said in his quote, in this, he used to say, like, for 20 years I just sat there throwing around the Liberal Party like a bunch of rag dolls. It was tremendous fun.
Alright, let's hear one.
Okay, so John Hewson just asks Paul Keating, if you're so confident about fight back, why don't you call an early election? That was his question. Now play it.
Order. The answer is, mate, because I want to do you slowly. I want to do you slowly.
Awesome.
I know. There's got to be a bit of sport in this for all of us. There's got to be a bit of sport in this for all of us. And in the psychological battle stakes, we are stripped down and ready to go.
Awesome. How good is that British ye old parliamentary bunch of fat old men going in the back? That is a great sound. Robbie, as a sound connoisseur, how would you rate the sound of a bunch of fat old parliamentarians slapping their knees, having a good old merry laugh?
It's good. It's about an 8 out of 10, that one, I'd say. It's a good throwback to like medieval feels, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the tavern.
Really, yeah, the tavern feel.
Who goes there?
Yeah, it's good.
The other good things about Keating were he was really progressive, right? So he was really supportive of a republic. He was really he deregulated all the banks, so you could say he was responsible for like the economic boom, like that was in line with the mining boom.
But also deregulated them to the point that if the Liberal Party were in power, they would have just utterly deregulated them like they did in the US, which would have given us a global financial crisis. But he deregulated them to the right point, and gave him what is called the 4 pillars. Which is, I don't understand them, but apparently this is the law that saved us from the global financial crisis, and then Tony Abbott weakened it. Idiot. But that was the thing that stopped us from going into the GFC. Everyone always goes, oh, it was the mining boom. It was not the mining boom. It was Keating.
Keating being
Ask
a baller.
any economist that is not a Liberal Party hack.
Yeah.
They will say it's because of Keating's four-bank pillar economy on the big banks.
Yeah, because it's really frustrating because Howard always gets attributed, and his treasurer, who's the treasurer, Alexander Downer?
No, Peter Costello.
Peter Costello, sorry.
And as Paul Keating said, Peter Costello has the easiest job in the world. He woke up with a rainbow under his arse and a pot of gold shitting out all the pot of gold.
Yeah, it was just set up for them to do well with. And also, he was responsible for Mabo, and he, it was the Sex Discrimination Act, and he did a lot of good stuff. So, good on Keating.
Yeah, progressively great, set up Australia for 25 years of economic growth. When he came into office, this is what the Liberal Party did under 30 years of pretty much uninterrupted rule. Gough Whitlam for a couple of years, but you can't do enough to change a nation in 2 years. He came into office, 3 out of 10 Australians were finishing secondary school and going on to university. When he left, it was 9 out of 10.
Wow.
That is the level of progress that Paul Keating saw in Australia.
In such a short time as well.
Also kept Medicare. Most other countries that went through the 80s neoliberal revival, which you kind of had to do because the rules of global economics were changing so much that you did have to free up markets a lot, which is a really right-wing thing to do. So obviously Keating brought us to the centre. But again, he kept all the vitals. He saw us through a really rocky transition while keeping in Medicare, while not making university completely privatised. He did introduce HECS, but that's a hell of a lot better than what happened in the US.
Yeah.
He improved. It was him. That was the guy.
It's so good as well because he's such a cool example for the whole economics trumps social problems thing. I reckon being treasurer for 8 years beforehand, and then going in, and then he's minister for all the things that seem to be actually quite important, like resources and agriculture or whatever his portfolios were just before he was prime minister as well. It's just they're all the ones that you just think I can actually see why they're really vitally important. To have a good understanding of the economy, opposed to being the minister for sport or something like that. It seems he wasn't just...
as a minister for social services. Well, you've got a heart of gold, mate. That's nice. Anyway, let's talk money.
All right, so let's move on to...
I'm convinced. He's a baller.
Yeah. Well, you should watch him on YouTube. It's pretty fun doing it.
Yeah.
Also, if somebody puts in a picture of Paul Keating singing the song Plies as a meme underneath of the song Thick, and then just a picture of him pointing his finger up saying, I like 'em thick. And we get 40 likes.
That's a
big ask, but 40, no less. No more either. If there's 41, I'm not doing it. But if there is 40 likes exactly, I'll make a video on why Paul Keating is a... Bah.
Just do it anyway.
It's pretty unnecessary, all of that.
All right, Robbie.
That's the rule.
What's your segment? This is yours.
Now we've got a favourite of the audience.
Why lie?
Highly doubt that.
Retrospective weather guess. So this is where I record myself earlier in the week. I've been somewhere. And I'm going to record that location, and you guys have got to guess what the weather was like at that particular time.
Sure.
Okay?
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Are you undoing your pants?
You can hear birds, so it's probably not raining.
Although, you can also hear water splashing out from underneath tyres, so it was raining recently.
Post-rain. Yeah. What are you doing? Are you eating? You're eating.
Why are you always eating in these clips? We have one simple request that we keep getting over and over again from pod listeners. Stop eating on air.
Yeah, it sounds
always break this.
Was it an apple? You're eating
In fact, I'm pretty sure that was your debut onto the Friendlyjordies podcast. Was the sound of you eating an apple into the microphone. That was the first sound we ever heard from your mouth.
Us recording, him getting up and walking out of the room, and we're just watching him saying, like, what? Where are you going?
Too scared to really comment on it because it was early days.
Yeah, coming back with a plate of snacks for him to just munch away on.
I offered it around.
You're the sound guy. That's what you're in charge of making sure.
Yeah. Why are you offering on air? Well, there's like 2 massive taboos.
Yeah, it's an hour of time. It doesn't take that long. We'll eat after.
Oh, you know, you're getting a good frame of mind. You're nibbling on a Tim Tam. You're gonna smile.
What was the weather like?
Well,
that's our guess. So it's strike 1 to Tom, 3 wide.
No, 2
catching
all.
up.
Wait, what did I do wrong? Yeah, I guessed. I said, is it post-raining?
Okay.
So that's 1 strike 1 to Jordan. Fair enough. Ouch.
Yeah.
Now I know how it feels. I like this game.
What's your guess?
I'm going to say post-rate as well, and I'm also going to put on that, I'm pretty sure it's a Sunday, but that might just be because of the Crowded House song beforehand, and it always reminds me of, shit, my mum going, hey, Jordan, do you want to go to the markets? No. Well, you're coming anyway. You're 12.
You're 12. What was it?
Well, guys, it wasn't raining or post-rain. It was actually really sunny and clear.
Okay.
And the
What was the bus sound then?
That was traffic.
There was water, though.
So there was no water?
No, there's no water at all.
I don't know about that.
I reckon you put that post-op sound in.
I have
just
not
confuse us.
I have not touched it. I swear to God, I was standing there and I just recorded where I was.
Yeah, that's actually more believable that Robbie's too lazy to go to the measures to try. All right, no story checks out.
That's not true at all either.
I work hard, all right?
When I work hard.
Okay, so
Work hard, play hard. Anyway, guys, that was
Says the man who has spaghetti stains on an I Love Phuket t-shirt. Hey, I work hard.
That was retrospective weather guess. And now we're going to go on to hear a story from Tom about his Russian friend.
Yeah, okay. So this does... Robbie is involved in this towards the end. But just to lay a bit of context, so it makes a bit of sense, something that happened to me a couple of years ago, it was kind of a blush kind of story, I guess. So I had a job at the university when I was at uni, where I'd like make videos for like the university, and I get this email.
Good old V-Hub.
Yeah, V-Hub, yeah.
Where
Love
we got
V-Hub.
50% of our wardrobe from because they handed out a box of t-shirts going, yeah, you guys, how many volunteers did you have? And both of us said, I was doing the podcast at the time, I reckon I'll have about 50. And you were going, yeah, probably 75, 80. Tom had, I think, 8, and I had 2.
Yeah, 80 t-shirts it is, yeah. 130 total? Yeah.
So, of course, we took home 40 t-shirts each.
Yeah.
And our editor, who was one of your V-Hub members, now wears that a lot, and I'm too afraid to ask whether or not he just owns one shirt and is wearing the same one every single time I see him, or if he took, the standard 20.
Yeah. So I was working there, get a strange email from a student asking if I can make an animation for his like university assignment, which is not at all the purpose of VHub. I was like, all right, mate, like, do you want to come in, like, we'll have a talk? And he comes in. He's an exchange student, thickly Russian man. So he'd only be like 20 years old, very Russian. Name's Valery, and he just is like
constantly wearing a soccer jacket of a team you've never heard of.
Yeah, either doing that, yeah,
but in Russian writing, so it was just like
yeah, like the full body like tracksuit, like the white pants with like the white jacket, or like a leather jacket with like golden jewelry. So like really nice guy, but like very intimidating.
Yes, he definitely tortured a man for $20.
Yeah. And like I became pretty good friends with him, and he was always saying how he's quite wealthy because in like the Soviet Union, when it collapsed, all the military basically just like took up all the land ownership of Russia. So like according to him, so like he and his dad or his grandfather or something was in military. So he just is. There's just like the 1% that just kind of have like so much land ownership. It's like a serf system from like the Dark Ages. But anyway, incredibly
gross.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. So he's just able to travel.
Had a happy moment. Ever.
The Russians.
Don't you think that should be their nation slogan? Russia, will there ever be a rainbow?
Yeah, so he's like, doing university, but has all this money to throw around, can't really be bothered to do this assignment. So he's like, Tom, can you help me do this assignment? I was like, yeah, okay. So he needed an animation. I can't do animation. So I got like a friend of mine. I was like, hey, like, can you do this assignment? Like, can you do this animation, please? She's like, yeah, all right, like, I'll do it. But, you know, like, can he pay anything? And I was like, no, he can't pay anything. He actually was like, I'll give you $300. And I was like...
And you skimped it.
No. I was like, I'm not going to take your money. I don't want your $300. Like, it's fine. She does the assignment.
And then Tom put the $300 in his pocket.
Yeah.
And they
for the sake of the story, I didn't take it, yeah. But, yeah, so the girl does it very reluctantly. By the end, it was quite a difficult assignment, which I kind of underestimated. By the end of it, she didn't really want to talk to me again because she was quite, like, upset that she got forced into doing this assignment for this guy. He, though, is so grateful for it. He's like, Tom, let me take you out on an expensive dinner, you and your wife, yes? I'm like 18, 19. I was like, well, all right, like, I'll take my girlfriend.
I don't have a wife. What?
Yeah. And it was my girlfriend's birthday was coming up. So I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Like, we'll go to this really fancy Italian restaurant. And he's like...
And Tom doesn't have to pay shit.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't have to pay anything. Really nice dinner, you know, awesome.
Did you get her a present?
No, this was the present. That's right. Great. So it's me kind of like...
KJ, we know you're listening.
So this was like my idea, like, all right, this is a great present for KJ. Don't need to pay for a cent. He also was a waiter at this restaurant at the time, so I think he could just like get like a very big discount, and then he was just going to like kind of pay for the rest. And I was just like, all right, fine, I'll take it. Like, let's do it. So I take KJ there, but I knew KJ would be quite like... She'd be annoyed if I was like... You know, this is free, because then she'd be like, all right, well, where's my present then? Like, it doesn't count as a present if you didn't pay for it. So I was like, so I didn't say anything, and I was like, so I was pretending as though I was paying for this dinner. We eat the meal. I was almost had got away with it. So like we'd eaten it all, ordered dessert. Valeria had stayed away for most of the night, doing different tables. And then I was like, all right, awesome, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I like go to the bathroom, come back. As I start to sit down, all the lights go out. And like I've told KJ that I'm like paying for it or whatever, like, and like all the lights go out, and then Valeria walks out, this like really big Russian man walks out with a birthday cake singing happy birthday. And he knows KJ by name, so he's like, happy birthday to Katie. Wow. And then she's like, what the fuck is going on? I was just...
For you, my darling. Yeah. All for you, my sweet.
And then he's like, oh, nice to see you. Like, and then it was just like, I was just like, been completely like thrown. Yeah, like I was exposed. And then I ended up having to buy her a proper present.
Really? Oh, yeah. You hack.
And she was really mad at me. But yeah.
What did you get her?
I don't remember, some jewelry or something probably.
Really? Okay. That's actually, I think that's fine. I think that dinner would have been fine.
Well, I was like, well, you know, I paid for it through my like pseudo labor. Like, I didn't actually do anything, but I got someone else to do something, and then I benefited from it for you.
And she, for some reason, wasn't chuffed with that explanation.
I know. Hey, it's such like a
I sort of maybe did something.
Yeah. How much is that like a male way of like justifying something? Like, well, it's just not like it is logically correct, I think. But like, just come on, like, it's obviously not good.
I don't know. I sort of stand by that, actually. Jordan, do you reckon that's bad?
I think that if I was taken out on a birthday dinner from my girlfriend and a large Russian man with a comically small cake in my huge hands came out, going, happy birthday to Jordan. I'd love that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You know, the best things in life are free.
Yeah. But yeah, the way it's connected is like I haven't seen him in years since that awful night. And then he called...
Why is it awful?
Well, just because I got in heaps of trouble, and it was kind of like my elaborate plan was just like I was brought to my knees.
Has she apologised?
KJ?
Yeah.
No. Why would she apologise? I apologise.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, so he contacts me and he's like, Dom, I have an idea. Like, can we meet? Can we meet? Yes. And I was like, yeah, let's meet in the cross. And he was like, yes. So we meet up and he buys me a coffee.
The business.
Yeah. It's just so funny because he's so blunt. Like, he doesn't really understand like Australian kind of like social, like conversational norms.
Hands off me.
Yeah.
Hands off, thanks.
Yeah, he's just like, very kind of straight to the point. He's like, I've got this business idea. Like, you do marketing. Yes, you do marketing. And you're like, look, man, like I have to think about it. But yeah, let me hear the idea. And so his idea is like, I don't know if I should spoil the idea, but it's basically an escort service, but instead of sleeping with a woman, they like an actor will take you out on a date, and like for guys that can't really date well, they'll get taken on a date and by an actress, and she'll kind of keep you happy and talk to you, and then at the end of the night you'll get feedback about like how you could have done the date better. It's like how to get that second date is the idea.
Oh man.
But
okay, yes, that would make money, but what pathetic sad sack would choose that service?
Robbie. So I got a call from Valerian. He's like, Dom, like, do you got a friend that can do this? And I was like, yeah, I do have a friend. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I'll get Robbie on board with this.
Look at him, crouched in his large chair, nervously holding on to the longest locks in his hair like a little crouched over rat. Two cats about to pounce on him. He doesn't know where to look.
Yeah. So Robbie's going on a date next week with an actress, and Robbie's going to get to choose the type of girl he wants to go out with. But
have you selected your woman yet?
I haven't seen the options.
Yeah, but you want the red dress, blonde hair. Yes, very nice. Yes.
It's going to be extremely odd. But,
thank you for doing it, though.
Yeah, I'll try it out.
Well, that's the pod, guys. So,
I suppose.
Yeah, so we'll report back to that. The end score was Jordan 1, Robbie 3. Seeing as you didn't get any marks against you, Tom, I guess you get to throw this bottle at his bum to the tune of Champagne Showers by LMFAO to sign us out.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Got ya! Just got ya! Every other time this song has been played, which is always going to be very anticlimactic. As a general rule, if you hear AC/DC's Thunderstruck getting played, that was a great ending. If you hear LMFAO's Champagne Showers, it was a real lackluster.
Yeah.
Anyway, see ya.
See you guys. Thanks to FBI for having us.
Yeah, thank you.